All right, so get this, picture this, right? Remember Justin Bieber back in the day?
Right.
Like, babyface kid on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
On, like, late night TV. With Diddy.
Right.
And it's, like, harmless, fun.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
Okay, so there's this clip, right? And it's from way back, 2011, Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Okay.
And it's resurfaced. Now, let me tell you, with everything that's come out about Diddy since,
Oh, yeah.
it is making people do a serious, like, double take.
Wow.
Like, really rethink this whole thing.
Yeah.
So you've got Diddy's very public legal situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have to say it involves alleged criminal activities.
Right. Of course.
And look, we're not here to, like, retry that whole case.
Yeah, no.
But we are going to unpack why this 2011 clip hits different now in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating how these things, like, they bubble up.
They do.
And then with the benefit of hindsight,
Yeah.
it adds a whole new layer,
It's true.
Like looking back at an old photo
Yeah.
with fresh eyes.
Totally.
Knowing the story, that unfolded afterwards.
It's like that feeling when you find out your favorite uncle.
Uh-huh.
Like, isn't who you thought he was?
Right.
Okay, so back to 2011, right? It's February. Bieber's barely 17.
Okay.
Diddy's already, like, Diddy. Music titan, right?
Right.
They're on Kimmel, joking around. Diddy's calling Bieber, quote, little brother.
Okay.
Very mentor-mentee, right?
Yeah.
But then it takes a turn.
Okay.
They show this clip, right? And Bieber's playfully complaining about Diddy promising him a Lamborghini. Diddy's response, quote, he had the Lambo for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Mm.
Even back then,
Yeah.
it felt a little off.
A little bit.
But, Bieber fever, it was everywhere.
It was at its peak, yeah.
In Diddy's image, I mean, it wasn't squeaky clean.
Right.
But it hadn't reached, like, the level of controversy it's at now.
To fully grasp the weight of that comment, I think we need some context.
Okay.
Like, we need to understand Diddy, his history, right? Yeah. Bieber, where he was at,
okay.
And, like, the unspoken thing, right?
Ooh.
The power dynamics that happen in the music industry all the time.
Right.
Like, it's more than just a clip now, It's about how we see fame and mentorship.
Yeah.
And what goes on behind the scenes. It does. It really does. Judge Andrew Carter even said he was concerned about, like, witness tampering, right?
Yeah.
And, like, the safety of the community, which is, when you hear that,
yeah.
that's a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, he's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn right now.
Okay.
But I think what's even more significant is, like, this case, it's like it opened the floodgates.
It's like that Cassie Ventura lawsuit, right?
Yes.
Last year?
Yes.
That was just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. It's like a dam broke. Over 120 accusers have come forward.
Seriously.
Yeah. And some of these allegations, they go way back.
Oh, wow.
Like decades.
Over 120 from multiple states.
Yeah. And it's rough, right? The accusations paint a very disturbing picture.
Yeah.
Including, like, sexual abuse of minors.
Oh, God.
Young as 9 years old.
That's awful.
We also, like, can't forget about the whole Molotov cocktail thing.
Oh, right. With the car.
Which, if you remember, that's like what Cassie Ventura said, too.
Yeah, exactly.
About Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like this pattern, right?
Right.
Of alleged intimidation.
Right, and it keeps coming up.
Exactly.
These patterns, right. Yeah. That's what makes this Kimmel clip feel different now, right?
Totally.
This little brother, access to the house language.
It hits different.
Right. Especially with all this other stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. That knowing better than to talk about what happens at Diddy's house.
Right.
It's like less playful now.
Yeah.
More like a warning, know? Yeah, for sure. And look, it's important to say that Diddy's denied all this, right? Yeah. His legal team is calling it a takedown of a successful black man.
Right.
But you can't ignore the volume, the severity of these accusations.
It's a lot.
It really is.
And it makes you really rethink what you thought you knew, right?
Yeah.
About Diddy, mentorship, the whole power dynamic.
It's a lot to process.
It is.
It really is. And while we're talking about complicated situations and journeys, right?
Yeah.
We can't forget Justin Bieber.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And how he's gone from teen idol to, well, Justin Bieber today.
It's the classic tale, isn't it? Perils of fame at a young age.
He was everywhere.
Everywhere.
The hair, the music, the screaming fans.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of, that level of global fame. It's got to be intoxicating, but also so damaging, especially that young.
It changes you, for sure.
And we saw it happen in public.
Yeah.
The pressure, the scrutiny.
Yeah.
It led to some dark times for him.
It did. Like the 2014 racism scandal.
Oh, right.
Those videos.
Yeah.
Tough to watch.
Using racial slurs, even jokingly.
Yeah.
Incredibly hurtful, damaging.
For sure.
And then the arrests.
Yeah.
Drag racing, assault.
Public. And that seat.
All very public.
Yeah.
Very damaging to his image.
And then the substance abuse issue.
Right. Which he talked about
He did.
in his documentary, 2020.
Yeah, he did.
You know, it's clear he was struggling.
Oh, absolutely.
With stuff.
Yeah.
Now it seems like he's trying to, you know, move on, right?
Yeah.
Clean up his act, focus on his marriage, his music.
Right.
But, like we were saying with Diddy, the past has a way of catching up.
It always does. It's all connected, you know?
It is.
Which brings us back to that 2011 Kimmel interview.
Right.
And how we see it now.
Because knowing what we know now
Yeah.
about both of them, the allegations,
Right.
it reframes that whole little brother access to the house exchange.
Yeah.
It's like before, you might have just brushed it off, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Like Diddy being Diddy.
Yeah, just larger than life, right?
Right, maybe. A little possessive, like, that's my guy, you know?
Yeah.
But harmless, right.
Yeah.
Now, though, it hits different.
It's like a dark cloud over it all now.
It really is. It's like that knowing better comment.
Yeah, like, don't talk about what happens in my house.
Right, and with the allegations and everything.
It feels less like playful, you know?
Yeah.
More like, be careful.
Like a warning.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes you wonder, right,
Yeah.
about the price of fame, especially for someone like Bieber, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Thrown into that world so young.
Looking for guidance, for sure.
Yeah, maybe a father figure even.
It's a common story, right?
Right, and this is where I think those power dynamics really come into play, right?
100%.
Because you've got Bieber at the top of the world, right?
Right.
But also so young.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Easy to take advantage of.
Right. And then you have Diddy, right, offering that access, the mentorship.
The world, yeah.
Right. Like, come into my world.
Yeah, this is how it is.
Right. But at what cost?
Exactly.
And to be clear, we don't know, right?
Of course, yeah. We're not saying anything definitively happened.
Right. We're just looking at the situation.
Right. But this clip, with everything else we know now,
Yeah, it makes you think.
it makes you ask some uncomfortable questions.
For sure. It makes you question a lot, like the stories we tell about fame,
Yeah.
about the industry, about mentorship, you know?
Right. And like, whose stories are we told?
Exactly. Exactly. And who do we listen to?
Yeah.
And are we listening to the right people? You know?
It's a lot.
It is, but it's important.
It really is. But if there's one thing to take away from all this,
Yeah.
it's that things aren't always what they seem
Never go.
on the surface.
You gotta look deeper, right?
Yeah. And sometimes you got to look back with fresh eyes, you know?
Yeah, with everything you've learned.
Right. To really understand what a moment, a comment, a relationship, even
All of it. Yeah.
what it really means.
Because the past, it's always changing, right?
It is.
Our understanding of it,
Right.
shaped by what we know now.
It's all connected.
And this clip, this whole thing with Diddy, Bieber,
Yeah.
it's bigger than them now, right?
Yeah.
It's about accountability, exploitation, thinking for yourself.
Not just accepting what you see.
Exactly. Especially in music and Hollywood, you know?
Right. Because that world, it's a tough one to really know.
For sure.
So as you're thinking about all this, right?
Yeah.
This clip, Diddy, Bieber.
Yeah.
Think about this. How much do we really know
That's the question.
about what goes on behind the scenes,
Behind the curtain.
behind those perfect images, you know?
It makes you think.
Because sometimes the truth, it takes a while to come out.
It does.
But when it does, it's important to listen.
And to learn from it.
Exactly. Just something to think
Yeah.
about.